We just pulled up. It's going to be a hot one today. So we're going to do a basic clean out, A-team style. This is a contract renewal. It's another 97-degree day. I tell you, I can't take this heat. Let me take my hat off. It's just too hot. Yeah, the cement we'll put in back of your seat later. All right, let's get everything and then we'll head on in. All right, and I just told the customer to turn the thermostat up. Before you clean a heater, do the annual cleaning. There you go, make sure it starts up. You don't want to clean a heater that's broken down. And I've seen people do that. All right. I'm waiting for the doc to come in. Let me find some lights in here. And this is just a basic contract renewal, like I said. Can you put your light on?
Yeah, that's what I was going to show you.
Just happened.
That, this one doesn't work. That's why I had to go the back way.
Oh, all right.
The back one works, but I gotta.
Yeah, that's why I had to turn this light on.
Yeah.
Like I say.
This, and I think I'll put this here for extra.
All right, that'll work. Oh, that's perfect. All right, now I can see. All right, let me get to work.
You need anything?
All right, the doc went outside again. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick that this old guy showed me years ago. Your vacuum cleaner is the most important tool that you'll have if you're going to be a burner mechanic. Let me turn the light on. There you go. Always fill the top of the vacuum where the filter is. Fill it with mothballs. All right, when you turn your vacuum on, right out here, everything is going to smell like mothballs. Customers love it. All right, let me click this back up. Another thing, when you come in to clean somebody's heater, all right, you want to leave the vacuum cleaner running the entire time that you're in this house, all right? All the way till you're done doing a repair if it's one, cleaning it. Until the time that you're ready to walk out that door, you want to have this vacuum cleaner running nonstop. That's called playing the music. Customers like hearing the vacuum cleaner run, all right? It's something psychological in their head. Now, during our video, you'll see we'll shut it off a few times, but that's to make our video, to explain a couple things to you. But remember, the whole time that you're in somebody's house, you leave this machine running. The customer likes hearing it, you know, operate. Another old guy showed me that years ago too. Not this old guy though, all right? He didn't show me that. But you want this running the entire time, non-stop. Customers like hearing that. All right, let's open this boiler up. We installed this Carlin burner, I think maybe like 10 years ago. Ever since then, runs trouble-free. So he's going to set us up. We're going to open up the heater. We're going to take a look at it. All right, he's peeling the tape off. You got to take the flue off. Let's take a look in here. Now that's a clean burn. Look at that. That's a very, very clean burn. But you still got to open it up and go through the steps. I don't think there's going to be any dirt in the base of the chimney, but you have to open it up. All right, I'll get a 7/16. We'll take these nuts off, then we'll take the breech off. All right, we got everything opened up. And like I told you, this is burning clean. So when you get the breech off, there you go. You want to vacuum off the breech. and inside the boiler. And you're going to take a real thin brush like this. Alright? Can you see that? You're going to go through each passage, one at a time. Now if you want to use a soot saw, you can use a soot saw. But if you want to use a nice brush, this way it all goes down. Let me give them a good shot. Trying to have light down in there. And you want to go through each and every passage. Alright. Now, with this kind of boiler, it's a cast iron boiler. See how I'm going in one direction? Then you got to stretch your arm over. When you're done, then you got to go in this direction going down. You got to do each and every fire pin going through. Alright, let me keep on going. Alright, after you're done cleaning with the brush like I showed you, you like to take a whisk broom, or if you want to use a paintbrush, whatever you want to use, just clean the sides real fast. Take a wire brush, just make it look nice. Looks good to me. Alright, looks good. We may not be the most technical bunch, but I can tell you, ain't nobody cleans a heater better than us. Alright, so that's all good to go. I'm going to put the breech back on. Now, I just want to show you something. There's no dirt in the chimney, but you still have to take it down and take a look. So I got that up there. Put the light on. Alright, you see it, there's no dirt up there. But you still have to take it down and visually inspect it. So we're going to put everything back now. And we're going to brush the smoke pipe out next. Alright, it's important that you brush out the smoke pipe. You want to get the inside very clean. Alright. And the reason you want to get the smoke pipe clean with a brush is because when you're finished and you're taking a smoke test, you want to get a true reading because your probe has to go in the hole. And you don't want to pick up any of this soot and give you a false reading. So that's why it's important you got to brush the smoke pipe out also. Alright, we're going to shut the vacuum off for a minute. Now, smoke pipe has to be screwed together. Alright, with zip screws, that's the proper way. Alright. Alright, usually one per joint, whatever they want, 2 per joint. What we like to do also, after the smoke pipe's screwed together, we like to put some heat tape on it. That's what I call it. Alright. And you're sealing up the joints. Alright. You never know what's going to happen. Here you go. Everybody's got their own method. We like to use this kind of tape. Now you want to use this tape if you're going to do it, Sure tape, because the adhesive on this can really take the temperature. A lot of guys out there tell you that we're wrong, this and that, but sometimes you'll get a little flake of a little ash here and there, and if you're like in a really, really clean house, you've been with me long enough, sometimes it'll fall. So just put a strip where the joint meets. Now if you watch some other videos, guys will tell you no, don't do it. You make your own decision. For those guys that disagree with me, here I got something for you. Yeah, I got something for you right there. Alright. So now what you also do with your smoke hole, when we're done, we're also going to put a piece of tape on that, cover it up, because a lot of customers will come down and they'll question what that is. Alright, you see a lot of tape on top of the jacket. The jacket's beat up. Alright, it's just it's beat up through the years. So what we did was we just covered it with tape. And no, you're not going to sell the customer a new jacket. All right, they have to pay for that unless you want to pay for it. But otherwise, they're happy. And like I said, always use this tape, Sure Tape, with the red writing on it. It sticks great. All right, so let us seal up these joints, and we'll move on to the next step. Want to turn that vacuum back on? All right, we're shutting the vacuum off. All right, we're done with that. But always remember, keep your vacuum running the whole time. We're going to do the filter next. Make sure you shut the oil tank off before you open the filter up. All right, don't be a stunad. Filter is very important to replace. I always like to use my Sid Harvey drip pan. You know what else you can use? You don't have to use the Sid Harvey drip pan. One of those paint things that hold the paint, and you can roll it in, paint roll or whatever. All right, the top of these bolts, they're either 5/8 or 9/16. This one's 5/8. Now, even though the filter might be clean, you want to change it every year. All right, see that? New filter comes in the box. I like to use the gear tooth kind. Gear tooth kind's real easy to use. Fits in. Put it in there. Change the gasket. Make sure you peel the old black gasket off. Don't leave it there. Sometimes I see customers when I go in their homes that the previous mechanic left this on there. Take the old one off, put a new one on. Take the bolt, all right. Take the old gasket off the bolt, throw it away, all right. New one comes in the plastic bag. Put a new one on. Once you break it, the old bolt, you know, that gasket might not be no good and it'll leak. So just put on the new gasket. All right, see where my fingers are? Right here. When I'm tightening this up, I'm putting my thumb and my index finger right here on both sides. And as I'm tightening this up, I'll feel it pulling in evenly. If you don't feel it pulling in evenly, take the tension off and then readjust the bottom canister. But keep your index finger and your thumb here as you tighten up. You don't want a crooked filter. It will leak. All right, that's finished. Filter wasn't that bad at all. All right, we're going to do the pump now. All right, we did the filter. Now you're going to do the pump. Now the older pumps have a nut right here. I already started to undo it. It's a 5/16 nut driver. There you go. The older pumps is a 5/16 nut driver. The newer pumps, they have an Allen kit. Now that's clean. That's real clean. It doesn't mean anything. Change it anyway. All right. You wouldn't know which one's which. All right, but change it anyway. You already got it opened up. Make sure you take the old gasket off. All right. If it don't come off, you'll have to take a razor, maybe scrape it off. See when these come off in one piece? That's how you know that the pump's been being cleaned properly every year. Take it off. Put your gasket on first with the newer gaskets. The older gaskets, it doesn't matter. Put the new gasket on first. The fat part of the gasket goes to the top. Okay? Wipe out inside there if you have to. Put that back on. And then you'll just tighten it up with your 5/16 nut driver. we'll tighten that all up. Now, one thing I'm gonna tell you. We already changed the pump strainer. When you do and work on the pump, always disconnect the oil line. If you don't disconnect the oil line, when I take the hub off, you're going to be bending the oil line out and you can cause an oil leak. So don't be lazy, just disconnect the oil line, then do your pump. It's hot out. I had to go out and get my fan. Doctor just ran outside. All right, we're getting ready to check the nozzle. We got the transformer pulled back. Take a paintbrush. See how we're getting a little bit of lint around the air shutter? Let me put this light on. See how we're getting some lint? This is how the burner breathes. Take a paintbrush, just clear it out. Clear it out. Alright. Alright, if this gets blocked up with lint or any foreign material, it's going to soot the boiler up. This is why it's very important to do annual service. Clean your heater. Also, when you got this pulled back, pull off the cat cell eye. Take a look at it. If it's dirty, just take a rag, Q-tip or something, and just clean out that cell. If this gets caked up with anything, it won't be able to view the fire, and this relay will shut everything off. After it's done, just put it back in. Alright. Alright, when you're going to remove the drawer assembly, you use a 7/16 wrench, loosen up the nut. Let me turn this light on again. Alright, then take off the thumb nut. I'm working with one hand here. Always take the thumb nut, put it on the jet line. Pull the gun assembly out. You go to the right, turn this, and you want to go upside down. And it will slide right out. Now, this boiler we got burning with a $1.50, gallon and a half. Now, this is a Carlin Easy Burner, so you want to make sure that you got the right plate according to your nozzle. So this plate is 135 to 150. Let's see what the nozzle is. I know it's right. There you go. 150. Alright, we got a 150 nozzle, 60 degree. Alright, we're going to take that out next. Alright, when you're working with the gun assembly, you want to take the turbulator off. Alright. Little screw right there, flathead screw, loosen it up, just pull it off. Take a wire brush, you want a wire brush. Now this looks pretty good, so you just want to shine it up. You want to go in the direction that the veins are. I'm just giving you a quick view. See how wire brush makes that shine up good? Alright. Nice and shiny. Take a real thin screwdriver if you want to use a thermostat screwdriver, and there's veins here. See these veins? You want to make sure that these veins are clear. Don't spread them. Just take your screwdriver, pass gently through them. These veins are important that they stay clear, because when it's put on there, that's how the wind goes through. And that's what rolls your fire. Alright? Alright, now I'm going to show you something important. A lot of guys think that you have to change the nozzle on every single clean out. That's not true. You only change a nozzle when the nozzle's bad, when it's no good. Now you've seen how clean that this heater was burning. This heater was burning very, very clean. You've seen that the filters were clean also. Now let's see if the nozzle's clean. That nozzle is clean. So there's no need to change this nozzle. If this was all gunked up, change it. But visually inspect the nozzle. Now look, you're going to have a lot of so-called super techs out there that disagree with me. And that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion, and so am I. There you go. Alright? But if there's nothing wrong with the nozzle, don't change it. I got some customers out here that have the same nozzle in the equipment for 15 years. Alright? Never changed it, and it still operates. Now, whenever you change a nozzle, you automatically got to give a smoke test. New nozzles come bad. But in this case, we're going to smoke test it anyway, because that's one thing that we do. But if the unit's burning clean and the nozzle's not dirty, there's no need to change it. Always remember that, and that's my advice to you. Alright, after that's all tightened up, make sure you tighten up the turbulator so it don't vibrate off. When you tighten up your nozzle, use a 3/4 5/8 for most burners. You snug it. Do not crank it down, because if you put a lot of pressure, this is all a brass assembly. You will strip it and it will leak. Before you put your gun assembly in, always look up the blast tube. Alright, I'm going to put the light on and make sure there's no carbon buildup on the end. That looks good. Alright, I can see that. I don't know how good the camera is, but I can see that. There's no carbon up there. And there's no dirt buildup. Now you got to remember, sometimes you got to open up the front of these boilers and clean out dirt. Dirt might be that thick in here. On our equipment, it never gets like that. It's all done right. On this, we don't need to open that up. A couple years we might. Alright, when you put the gun assembly in, you want it upside down with the jet line facing to the right. You go up. You want to lift it a little bit to make sure that you go through the hole of the front of the burner, or the end cone, whatever you want to call it. You want to flip it around like so. Alright, and you want to go through there. Then you want to take your thumb nut, you put it on there, tighten everything up. Alright, we're going to fire this up next. Tank valve's open. Take your tray, put it under the burner. Alright, I'm going to put it the opposite way. We'll go like that. Alright, you're going to bleed it out. You open up the tank valve. See this tit right here? It's 3/8. Take 3/8 box wrench, open that in a wrench, whatever you want. Open it up. Put the power on, make sure the thermostat's calling for heat. Alright. You want to keep priming until you get all the water out. All the air out. I'm going to push that button down so it don't go off on safety. Then I'm going to release it. Now you want to keep going until all the air is out and you're getting a nice red flow. Push it down again. This way I don't go off on safety. And I'll release it. Alright, that looks good. Alright, we just lit up. Now this is a 150 60 degree, so we're basically going straight down the middle. Let me shut this off. That's a gorgeous fire. Alright, now you're going to take your smoke test. It's very important that you take your smoke test. You want to make sure that the boiler or furnace is burning clean. No sense in cleaning the heater and leaving the unit burning shitty, because you will be back during the winter for a service call. You got a white piece of paper, it's porous paper, there's no dirt. Alright, nothing. Where'd you put that at? You can see that it's clean. Yeah, the tube. Alright, this is the smoke scale. 0 is the best, all the way up. 9 is the worst. You want to shoot for a 0 most times. Next, we're going to take our piece of tape. We're going to cover up that smoke hole. When you're done, you know that everything's burning clean. If you really want to make this boiler shine on the inside, we like to throw in a Slim Jiffy soot stick each time. What the Slim Jiffy soot stick does, any soot that we couldn't get out, like little particles, this chemical will get it out. It also helps clean any creosote from the base of the chimney all the way up to the roof. It's hot down here. It is hot. With the boiler running operation, just flick it in like so. Let the unit run for a good 15 to 20 minutes. Now when this starts working, you'll actually hear a crackling in there, and you might get like a little sulfur smell. That means everything's starting to burn up and the chemical's starting to go through the system and do its job. Alright, another thing that you have to do that's very important, every single fitting that you have taken apart, every device or every component that you've taken apart, compression fitting or flare, whether it's the fuel pump, whether it's the oil filter, take a clean rag, wipe everything off, take your hand, Or if you want a paper towel and you want to check everything that you touch to make sure that you do not have an oil leak. All right? If you're not that sure, take a white napkin, take a white paper towel, and just check everything that you worked on to make sure that you don't have an oil leak. Oil leaks are a pain in the ass. It creates callbacks and it can make a mess. Believe me, when I was first starting out years ago, ain't nobody had more oil leaks than me. Always carry a bucket, just like he is. Dump all your slop in there, then dump it in the truck.